It's a folk horror evening with storytelling and like a few different like surprises. So we have a hurdy-gurdy player and we have a few other things that I'm not going to talk about yet, but like it's basically, the theme is folk horror with like a summer kind of banquet, midsummer kind of vibe. My co-host, who's not here, Tom Mellish, we are performing and we're curating the lineup, so we have some other performers who are going to be reading stories. I know Tom Mellish through a friend of a friend of a friend. I think we were playing Dungeons and Dragons together at one point because we knew the DM, and I know he is one of the only other people at the open mics, because I do spoken word open mics, who does storytelling, so I thought he'd be a good one to team up with to do like a storytelling evening. I'm actually terrible with horror, I get scared really easily. So if I can get through it, then it'll be fine for everyone else. It'll be kind of fun. We've got some that are more fun and some that are more like lighthearted, and then some that are kind of spooky, and they all have a horror theme. Like there's a bit of body horror, which is something that I wouldn't mention, but like nothing particularly unsettling, and like I wouldn't have to warn many people about it. I kind of don't want to give one of our surprises away, but it also kind of depends on the performers and how they choose to do their stories. So some people will be doing some more straightforward stories, and some people might choose to like involve the audience more in terms of like what they're reading. I think one of our performers was thinking of doing like a guided meditation for everyone, which would be quite exciting. But I don't want to say much more than that. First time running a show. I've performed stories at like a few different nights, but they've never been like my night. So this is the first time that I think either of us have ever run something, which is exciting. And I think most of the people performing have already performed, but for some people it'll be like the first time they've performed a certain piece, or maybe the first time they've done fiction instead of poetry. We're thinking we'd see how well it does and maybe expand on it more. We're thinking of doing like a seasonal one, so like maybe one in winter next time because it's summer themed this time, and change each time to fit that particular season. This one is more of like a kind of village hall, summer banquet, spooky summer vibe, but obviously in winter it could be more like round the hearth. We'll have to work it out. And I've mostly just do open mics, like poetry evenings. Yeah. But like I write fiction, so I'm usually one of the only fiction performers at these evenings, and often I'm one of the only people whose stuff is a bit like horror based. Yeah. So I kind of thought it'd be nice to have an evening where there's other people doing what I like doing. Yeah. So hopefully it'll give a few other people a chance to do stuff that they might not usually do at the usual night.